Good day everyone, my name is Jade Mercadero from PSMT 1-YA-7 and I am here to tackle about the PPEs and personal protective equipment using onboard ship. So first, I would like to explain about the PPEs. So PPEs represent the final link in a pre-planned chain of shipboard safe work practices that should provide multiple barriers to seafarer, injury, and death. As such, PPEs provide the ultimate barrier that should only engage if all other safe work practice barriers have failed. So, here are some personal protective equipment on board ship. For example, is the protective clothing. Protective clothing is a coverall which protects the body of the crew member from hazardous substance like hot oil, water, welding spark, etc. It is popularly known as boiler suit. And number 2 is helmet. The most important part of the human body is the head. It needs utmost protection, which is provided by a hard plastic helmet on the ship. A chin strap is also provided with the helmet, which keeps the helmet on place when there is a trip or fall. Number 3, safety shoes. Maximum of the internal space of the ship is utilized by cargo and machinery, which is made of hard metal and which make it clumsy for crew to walk around. Safety shoes ensures that nothing happens to crew members' feet while working or walking on board. Number 4 is the safety hand gloves. Different types of hand gloves are provided on board ship. All these are used in operations wherein it becomes imperative to protect one's hands. Some of the gloves provided are heat resistance gloves to work on hot surface, cotton gloves for normal operation, and welding gloves for chemical gloves, etc. Number 5 is goggles. Goggles are used the most sensitive part of the human body. It is the eye. It is very high for having an eye injury. Protective glass or goggles are used for eye protection, whereas welding goggles are used for welding operation, which protects the eyes from high intensity spark. Number 6 is earmuff or earplug. Engine room of the ship produces 110 to 120 dB of sound, which is very high for human ears. Even few minutes of exposure can lead to headache, irritation, and sometimes partial or full hearing loss. An earmuff or earplug is used on board ship, which dampens the noise to a bearable decibel value. Number 7. Safety harness use in routine ship operation includes maintenance and painting of high and elevated surfaces, which require crew members to reach areas that are not easily accessible. To avoid a fall from such heightened area, safety harness is used. Safety harness is done by a day operator at one end and tied at a strong point on the another end. Next is the face mask. Working on an installation surface, painting or carbon cleaning involves minor hazardous particles which are harmful for human body if inhaled directly. To avoid this, face masks are provided which acts as shield from hazardous particles. Number 9 is chemical suit. Use of chemicals on board ship is very frequent, and same chemicals are very dangerous when they come in direct contact with the human skin. A chemical suit is worn to avoid such situation. Number 10 and the last, welding shield. Welding shield is a very common operation on board ship for structural repairs. A welder is provided with welding shield or mask which protect the eye from coming in direct contact with ultraviolet rays the spark of the wheel. Next is the permit to work. Refers to management of systems used to ensure that work is done safely and efficiently. These are used in hazardous industries and involve procedures to request, review, authorize, document, and most importantly, the conflict task to be carried out by frontline workers. Permit to work is an essential part of control of work. The integrated management of business critical maintenance processes, control of work is made up of permit to work, hazardous identification and risk assessment, and isolation management. Permits to work are a formal management system used to control high-risk activities as part of the control safety measures. This enables an assessment of risk to be made and to specify control measures which will be put in place in order to minimize the risk. The permit should mention the measures undertaken to make the job safe and the safeguards that need to be taken during the operation. The permit should have a period of validity or should not exceed for 24 hours or 1 day. Only the work for which the permit is prepared by undertaken and no other job should be done. Here are some risk assessment on board ship. What is a risk assessment on board ship? A risk assessment is simply an assessment of risk, and it is an examination of a task or job that may be carried out on board to identify the presence of hazards that may cause harm to people, property, or the environment. Next to tackle about is an enclosed space. An enclosed space is defined as a space that has the following characteristics, where is an unsafe oxygen level and or toxic gas or other vapor, limited openings for entry or exit, unfavorable and naturally ventilation, and not designated for continuous worker occupancy, and includes but is not limited to cargo spaces, double bottoms, fuel tanks, ballast tanks, cargo pump rooms, cargo compressor rooms, coffer dams, chain lockers, void spaces, duct gills, inter-barrier spaces, boilers, engine crankcases, engine scavenge air receivers, sewage tanks, and adjacent connected spaces. The list is not exhausted, and a list should be produced on a ship-by-ship basis to identify enclosed spaces. So that's all for today. Thank you for listening and have a good day.